LT and I'm an alcoholic addict. My name's LT and I'm from Ogden, Utah. I was born here in 1979. I lived here most of my life. My dad moved my sister and I out to Michigan when I was 13, then I moved back here when I was 18, and this is where I've lived ever since. This is my story. My first time tasting beer, I was 5 years old. The first time I smoked weed, I was 16 and I loved it. I always had this desire to drink and do drugs, as long as I can remember. The first time that I tried crank and acid and got drunk, I was 17. The first time I tried crack, I was 19. The first time that I tried meth, I was 19, and then I didn't slow down. I was partying as hard as I could, and I was doing whatever drug was laid in front of me. By the time I was 21, I was a full-blown meth addict. I lost my job, lost my car, I was homeless, and I was wandering around doing whatever I had to do to get my next sack. From the age of 24 to 28, I smoked weed daily, and then from 28 to 33, I was sober. Then I started drinking again at 33 to 40, and then I quit when I was 40, and I've been clean to this day. So now let's look back at what got me clean when I was a full-blown meth addict tweaker. Like I said before, I was doing whatever it took to get my next sack, and that led me to breaking into this house right here. We were getting high in this house over here. We were contemplating on where we were going to get our next sack of meth. And the dude I was with said, "Hey, my neighbor's out on vacation." And one thing led to another, and I found myself standing in the living room of this house looking for stuff to sell for meth. So here's a little backstory. So I was in that house smoking meth. We broke into the other house, stole all the stuff. I ended up on the run from a bounty hunter because the week prior I had bailed myself out of jail with a stolen checkbook. And I remember being about 2 steps ahead of this guy. And I ended up at one of my cousin's house because I needed a change of clothes, camouflage in particular. I was literally running from this guy. So while I was at my cousin's house, the social security card from the burglary fell out of my backpack, and that's how the cops caught wind that it was me that broke into this house. Luckily, my mother, she caught wind of me running from this bounty hunter, and she paid him off and got him off my back right as I was about to hop on a train and head to Vegas. I ended up back at the house smoking the meth that we got from the burglary, and the dude that I was with was acting all weird. He was like wanting to hold my half of the bag, and he was telling me that I had to go, and then finally he was like, "Dude, you got to get out of here." So I jumped in a car with his girlfriend, and as we were backing out of the driveway, 6 cop cars surrounded us. They came out, guns drawn, yelling at me, "Get out of the car!" And I had no clue that they knew about the burglary. I still thought it was about that stolen checkbook. So anyway, they cuffed me, they hauled me off to jail, and they charged me with a 1 to 15 second-degree felony. I spent 4 months locked up in jail before they released me on probation. It took me about 3 weeks to get caught with a sack of meth, fell a UA, and my probation officer took me back to jail. I spent another 4 months here before they released me to a work release program. So I did about a total of 8 months here in the Weber County Jail. After the second time I went to jail, they gave me one more chance. They sent me here to the Northern Utah Community Correctional Center, the NUCCC, or like we called it, the NUC program. It's a work release center where we can leave and work during the day and have to come back here. Multiple drug tests, room searches. I did 4 months in this program, successfully completing its requirements, and was released on probation for the next 2 years. So I got out of the NUCCC, and I started the climb of my life of being responsible. I kept a good job for 7 years before I landed a really good, high-paying job. At this point, I had no idea about addiction or the fact that I was an addict. Working construction from age 24 to 28, I smoked weed daily. Then I ended up staying clean till I was 33 because of drug tests for the new job. So from age 16 to 28, I was using or drinking the whole time. And then from age 28 to 33, that was my longest period of sobriety. I started drinking again at age 33, and little did I know that this was going to lead to full-blown alcoholism. Drinking started off with friends at a barbecue, get-togethers, the Super Bowl, and it slowly progressed and it got worse and worse. It went from drinking with friends to drinking every weekend no matter what. And by the time I was 36, I had started drinking a pint of whiskey every night and then as much as I could on the weekends. My son was in a terrible accident in 2017, and I think this is what put me over the edge, and then I started drinking non-stop. And by the last half of 2018, I was drinking close to a 5th every night. I recorded myself at one point just to see what it looked like as I drank. I was explaining what it looked like as I went through it. Check it out.
Oh, here we go again. Let me keep you with me. The end of this one.
Super exciting. 3
Just kick the habit.
I don't know what's
not good for you.
And if you say no, I'm just...
So I'm halfway through. I ain't done yet.
actually out of space.
I just want to end it, not buy. I have to limit myself. If I buy a fifth, I'll drink a fifth. Boring. Welcome to 16 shots in 20 minutes.
So that was April of 2018. That was the point of my alcoholism, that I was on the fast track to ruining relationships, ruining my reputation, and I was waking up every day living with guilt and shame. The last weekend I drank was August 16th through the 19th, 2019. I drank somewhere around 3 to 4 gallons of whiskey. That Monday I missed work again and I checked myself into a hospital to detox. After I got out of the hospital, I checked myself into an IOP program called Action Recovery in South Ogden. I spent 4 months here, 3.5 hours a night, 5 days a week, learning all I could about addiction and working the 12 steps. I'm still in this program, and I still regularly attend AA and NA meetings. 2 things you see here when I drink or use drugs. I either end up in jail or the hospital, and that is the definition of an addict. I am an addict. In the doctor's opinion, the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, it says that we believe, and so suggested a few years ago, that the action of alcohol on the chronic alcoholic is a manifestation of an allergy. That is, the phenomenon of craving is limited to this class and it never occurs in the average temperate drinker. You see there, we are allergic to alcohol and drugs. The allergy of alcohol and drugs on the addict or alcoholic means that when drugs or alcohol are used, it sets off a phenomenon of craving. And because of the way that our bodies process alcohol and drugs, it sets off cravings for more and more. It is why us addicts and alcoholics can never truly predict how much of a substance that we are actually going to use. Do you fit that definition? So if you fit that definition and you want to recover, you have found the right channel. That's what this channel is about. It's about recovery from addiction. I am here to help you recover. Believe it or not, you are here to help me recover too. So if you want, subscribe, hit that bell, and let's recover together. Stay tuned and thanks for watching.